I I wanted to sit outside and read what I was going to read to you guys. Unfortunately, my neighbor's out and about watering his plants, and even though I know for a fact he's deaf, it's just not comfortable sitting there yammering away to essentially myself. Anyways, the whole of Psalm 103 is neat, encouraging, and kind of at the same time just I don't know how to put it into words. So, anyways, I'm not going to read the whole thing. There's a couple verses that I will read. The first chunk is verses 3 to 5. He forgives all my sins and heals all my diseases. He keeps me from the grave and blesses me with love and mercy. He fills my life with good things so that I stay young and strong as an eagle. And then skipping ahead, uh, verses 15 and 16 from Psalm 103 there. As for us, our life is like grass. We grow and flourish like a wild flower. Then the wind blows on it, and it is gone. No one sees it again. And honestly, I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. You know, my recent scare, uh, honestly, I didn't know aspirin would have eased the pain the way it did. And had I known that, I wouldn't have gone to the hospital and found out that it's actually, well, I probably still would have, because, the whole signs of, or what feels like a heart attack, a person should probably get it checked out just to be on the safe side. I'm glad I went. I honestly was thinking I was dying, and I don't imagine for anybody that hauling my carcass out of the basement here would be all that much fun. So why not die somewhere where they can wheel me away? Was my line of thinking. But I did not die. The stay in the hospital was frustrating. Frustrating is not the right word. Terrifying for me, at least when nobody was around. So I'm thankful that my mom came and my sister came. I'm glad that they're both nurses because they knew all the jargon, and my mom knew medical history that I didn't know, such as my grandpa, her dad, suffered from heart issues in his 40s. I'm in my 30s, so it makes sense. Anyways, when I was by myself there, and those sterile white walls and the beeps and buzzes of all the machines, and because of my last experience in the hospital, even though it wasn't a month, the way that it panned out, in and out a week at a time over a month, uh, things could have been done differently then, and I'd probably be a little more comfortable going into the hospital these days. I was open and honest with a nurse once when I was by myself in the hospital there this last time, and I told her that my biggest fear was being put back in the psych ward and being put on antipsychotics, and that's the type of thinking that would sure as heck get me put back in the psych ward and put back on antipsychotics, and that's the last thing I want. That would definitely be against my wishes, against my will, and I can't emphasize enough how much, you know, on one hand, I'm thankful for my family and friends that have helped me recover the last few years. However, on the other hand, like I said, there's things that could have been done a lot different. There was no reason I had to be getting an injection that burnt my arm and made the arm useless for weeks at a time, every month. There's absolutely no reason why they wouldn't trust me to take pills regularly. I don't know. Sure, when I was on pills and working on a farm, I struggled to take them regularly. But anyways, I'm overthinking it. My point is I now have a sense of mortality that I have never had before. I've had someone try to take the opportunity and push life insurance on me, or insurance in general on me, and I do not appreciate that. At the moment, there's no one in my life that, when I pass, that I really feel obligated to bless by a passing. So the whole insurance thing just seems like a scam to me. But there are a couple things that, since now I do have a sense of mortality, that I need to do. I call them, I say, I got to get my affairs in order, even though I have very little affairs. I'm going to have to book an appointment with the bank and make sure at least one of my sisters has access to my account on the off chance I am gone anytime soon. Because at the minimum, I would like to cover the cost of cremation, and I don't even know if I want a celebration of life, but rather be spread all over the map: Saskatchewan, Alberta, into Montana. My dream would be to be mixed with diesel and sent down the highway in an old diesel engine that wouldn't catch me in a filter, but rather shoot me up through a stack. But anyways, that's a pipe dream. Oh, Facebook notification, and this is now an 8-minute video. Anyways, I don't mean to be all doom and gloom. I'm gonna go take a shower and head to church in a bit. I'm hoping the message is a little more encouraging than me sitting here thinking. But, the last few years, just from several people passing on, the last few years in general have been an eye-opener to how short life can be. And, if I was to go tomorrow or tonight or whenever, because nobody knows when they're going, if I was to go anytime soon, I would say I've lived a pretty fulfilling life. On the other hand, there's still a lot of things I'd like to do before I die. So yeah, I gotta get out of this mindset. I'm gonna go pour me another cup of coffee, go sit outside, relax a few minutes, and then, depending on the time, shower and go to church. Thank goodness there's 3 different church service times. I was up at like 6, so I could have made it to the 8 o'clock service. I'm gonna aim for the 10:30 service or whatever time it is. But maybe I'll just relax the rest of the day and push for the 11 o'clock service and then walk down Main Street and have a lunch. I don't know. Anyways, I did not realize I just sat here talking for pretty doggone near 10 minutes. Take care out there. Love ya. Sorry for rambling. Just needed to get some stuff off my mind. Love y'all. Life is short. Make the most of it. Goodbye.